GNT show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. These are the voyages of the GNT show. Our continuing mission to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to Boliga, where no show has gone before. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the GNT Show, episode 280. I'm Terry Lynn, and the man on my right is Gettysburg 7.
And Jolan True citizens, good morning all. And there he is across from us in this glass enclosed nerve center. It's Ceridian.
Kerplunk. I mean Kabla.
And there you can see hanging, I don't know what's going on, but hanging from a series of levers and pulleys and very Mission Impossible like. It's Steve.
And we're walking.
He tripped.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Steve.
How's everybody? Yeah, I know. Sorry to in the middle of a 3-day weekend for people here, at least in the United States. We want to send out our best wishes for your Memorial Day weekend and our love to everyone who's ever had a loved one lost serving our country.
And did you see who passed away yesterday, Terry?
Yeah, Greg Allman.
Yeah, shocker that he lasted this long.
There is that. We also have.
How bad is your luck?
I mean, I hate to start off our show with a lot of bad news, but we lost one of our own this week, and I don't know if you guys know it or not. So we do need to send out our love and our deepest condolences and our sympathy. And if there's anything she could ever need, just all she has to do is call. She knows it. But our good friend Orrin Weish lost her husband this week, Bill. Bill Weish.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I am. Orrin is a huge Trekkie, as was Bill.
Yeah.
They have like the coolest basement in Virginia, I think. They have and I'm not exactly sure what happened. Orrin did say that they were looking for the cause of death, and but we did want to say that we love you, and we're here for you, and we'll miss Bill very, very much. So yeah, just kind of a bunch of sucky news to start off with, but you're right about Greg Allman. And who else?
How bad is your luck when you have Hep C, get a liver transplant, and then get cancer from that liver that you got a transplant? How bad is your luck?
It's a risk, isn't it? That's what happens.
Well,
I mean, he could have gotten cancer from God knows anything, right? But
well, I would like to take a quick moment to introduce our special guest that just joined us.
Oh.
Hello, Ross. How you doing?
Hello.
You're much too chirpy to be on the show this morning.
I only sound chirpy.
Welcome, sir. Glad
Good morning, Ross.
Hey, guys.
What's up? Welcome. It's good to hear you.
Well, I'm trying to be as quiet as I can to not disturb the pregnant girlfriend in the opposite room.
Turn it off.
Oh, boy.
No recording this time.
Everybody knows Ross, our wonderful friend from our sister show, Live, Love, Play. How's it going?
Pretty good overall. I'm seeing some. My live stream last night went very well.
Awesome.
2 new
What'd you do?
followers. I'm up to 77 on Twitch.
Sweet. What'd you play last night?
I played Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Okay, so I think the one that James Swallow wrote was was Evolution something.
No, he wrote for Mankind Divided,
He did too. Okay, cool. We
which
love James.
it's an
So
excellent game, very
is it?
well done. And I was surprised to find out he was involved.
Yeah, it was a great conversation with him when we had him on, and it was interesting to hear the storyline because, of course, I don't play Deus Ex, but um, I know a lot of people love the game.
Well,
So
I've been
what
hoping
brings you
to
in the
have a
neighborhood,
conversation with him about it too,
buddy?
but he hasn't been returning my calls.
Oh,
I think he's been busy because he's definitely been hard to reach.
Or in hiding after No Man's Sky.
oh, yeah,
Not a very well received game.
yeah, that's okay. So what brings you into the neighborhood, buddy?
Well, first off, last week there was a question asked about Busy Little Beaver fan productions, and I've been at the helm of most of them over the last year or so. So I wanted to come on and talk about that for a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's news to me. So let's talk about what started it off.
Well, the question last week, I forget who asked it. What I think it was either you or Nick.
Nick.
Yeah. Okay. Is anything being done with Gates of Stovacore, Starfinder, or anything like that? And the short answer to that is yes. Those are our fan productions are still alive, but life and circumstances changed, and we've had to change a lot of how we've been doing things. So,
Yeah, that happens.
yeah, the Gates is what I'm most involved with, so I'll start with that. Well, Bone is what I'm most involved with, but Gates first, since that's the more popular one. So, Gates of Stovacore, we had big plans for our upcoming seasons. We had 19 episodes written and confirmed, ready to go. The first and second ones were produced and released, but then two major things happened. The first, of course, was the fan guidelines.
I knew you were going to go there.
That threw us.
So everybody took a step back. I can understand that.
That threw us for a pretty big loop for a little while while we were trying to. Well, first we were waiting to find out what those guidelines were, how they would affect us, if they would affect us, and then the second.
And the short answer is they don't affect us.
Correct.
Right. But the second major event was that we lost a lot of our support staff. At our apex, Gates was a team of at least 10.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people helping us out.
Oh yeah, it was a huge little mini community of people who shared ideas, shared voice tips, shared just our love for the Klingon faction in Star Trek Online, Star Trek, and of course just Klingons in general. And in my case, Gorn. But a lot of that with the guidelines and before the guidelines, a lot of that support evaporated. And one of our principal cast members, our Garth, Michael Coleman, disappeared on us. None of us have seen hide or hair of him in over 2 years.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
I hope so too. And a lot of what we were doing in this upcoming season was very Garth-centric.
Yeah, we had made a conscious choice to focus on his character as like the main story thread for the season. Everyone had their own threads, but his was one of the bigger ones. And then the following season, we would focus on another character a little bit more. After we told his story, et cetera, et cetera.
It was pretty spread out, actually. We had a little bit of everybody, but Garth was central in almost every episode. He's so much fun to write and work with, and Coleman was so much fun to to record with and listen to as that character. But for reasons known only to him, he's completely stepped away from social media and Gates, and recasting that character to find we haven't been able to find someone with that same kind of tonality and
Yeah. Maybe
and
it's just
heart.
well, maybe it's just time to go with somebody with a different tone.
So
Yeah.
what we've been doing in the background is something that pretty much all of our fan productions are trying to do, is go with a less is more approach. We're going to take a step back. We're like for the last season, for example, we had 19 episodes, all of those planned for a length of about 30 minutes each. Those first 2 episodes took about 3 months to produce.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
So we're looking at what we have, and we're going to scale back a bit. We're going to do shorter episodes, 5-7
Yeah,
minutes, with
those are
a
great.
smaller cast. And we're probably going to scale back those episodes too to maybe 6 or so. But all of that reworking is going to take a lot of time, especially with people who become very busy.
Yeah. It's weird, but the one thing that will always affect any type of fan production, it doesn't matter whether or not it's on film or if it's audio, or even anything that takes a group of people to make, especially a volunteer group of people. That's the one thing that everybody faces, and that is real life. People have real jobs. People have families and children and parents and travel and business and everything that goes in. Those all take priority over a volunteer fan production. Even though it's a great hobby, it's still a hobby.
Right. A lot of us had a lot more time in the past when we were doing this. I first got involved with Gates of Stovacor because I was in a holding pattern and had a lot of time on my hands.
Is that
Yeah.
during the arraignment period when you were just waiting for the charges?
Yeah, I was stuck in Hawaii with nothing better to do.
They were waiting for the balloons to pass through your body so that they could.
They had to wait for the thing to calm down before they could extract it.
See, I like it better when they just forcibly go in. Maybe, I don't know, that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
You always were
it
a
had
cat on the
claws. That
edge
would have
there,
hurt.
Nick.
But everybody said something at once.
George is doing something similar with Starfinder. He's had a lot of success with his mini and micro episodes. I mean, we thought we were being pretty ambitious with the way we were doing our regular episodes, but George is doing full hour-long epics with Starfinder. And Mike and I can tell you, in our work on the crossover episodes between Starfinder and Gates, that took 2 years to produce.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It was a lot of fun, but that was a lot of time.
And yet, y'all still managed to put something out. And didn't even need to
on
raise
how
$1
much
million.
money?
Yeah, exactly.
$12.
See?
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying
63
anything.
cents.
I'm just saying.
But he is looking to revamp Starfinder to focus more on a 15 to 7 minutes episode shorts, but continuing with Starfinder.
Well, that's great. I am glad to hear that it hasn't faded away, as a lot of fan productions do tend to do, again, just because real life takes over.
Well, it's certainly a
that's
labor
awesome.
of love that we all enjoy. The worst hit probably is Blood of the Near, which suffered from, well, 2 consecutive
All of
deployments.
the above.
Yeah.
I tried my best to try and keep in touch with people for the Blood of the Near pre-production, but unfortunately, without me being there, things kind of fell apart while I was gone.
Well, it was also an ambitious project. I think you're right. The timing on Blood of Vanilla was just rough. It was just rough. Right at like you said, a couple of deployments and people being all over the world. That's the other thing too, is that these are labors of love shared by people who live around the globe.
Yeah, trying to coordinate across time zones was not
It's
easy.
bad enough. Yeah, it's bad enough between you and Nick on different ends of one country.
Yeah.
I can't. When people are living in Australia and stuff.
Just look at something as simple as Mike when we were trying to get the Big O, the Big O sports show for Gettysburg Address, and something so simple, we forgot to say which time zone are you in.
Assumptions were made on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, and then we both just thank God, he's such a good guy, and we both laughed about it and said, "Oh, this is what's happened." But yeah, and and Ross, you were in Hawaii, right? So that's even a greater time zone difference. And then, Steve, it's what, Wednesday where you are now?
Nearly, yeah.
It can be a real. I don't even want to say real. It can be an absolute challenge to do these things. So I have more admiration.
It's a true commitment.
And a commitment and a community. This is it's a community effort, and it's awesome. I'm glad to hear that both Gates of Stovacor and Starfinder are still
and Blood of the
more
Nero.
than just
we have
gleams in the eye.
scripts. We have scripts for Bone. It's just trying to get everything produced is what's it's a lot of work. So I commend Ross for his efforts, because I know when I was in charge of Gates how much work it can be, and I don't envy his position, but he took it upon himself. He wanted to keep it going. So congratulations, dude. You got a shitstorm on your hands.
That last episode of Gates was an absolute nightmare to produce.
Yeah, there was bad audio and bad mics.
Our principal character, what he submitted, not only was there a lot of background noise that made some lines completely unusable. Unfortunately, he requires a lot of direction, but we could never find the time to sit down with him to direct. So everything he gave us was
substandard.
Yeah.
I am really sorry to hear that.
Like Ed Wood, like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept using stage yelling.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually we had to recast, and we brought George in for the episode.
Oh my God. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm still sneezing. Well, again, I'm sorry to hear what you guys have gone through, but I am very glad to hear that you haven't given up. I know it's going to be good, because if Sun says that the scripts are great, then I know that they are.
Yeah. Thank you, Sun. That meant a lot.
Thank you very much, Sun.
I wasn't sure which show she was referring to, but thank you. That means a lot. Because we Ross and I and several others, we all collaborated together. We all worked together on the scripts for weeks and weeks on end. So at the time, we were very pleased with what we had on all of these shows.
So for our listeners, are all the previous episodes still available?
Yes, they are.
And how can they find them?
And for how much?
gatesofstovacor.com. You can find all our previous episodes there. All of our, as well as our episodes are almost entirely in audio form. However, about I think 8 episodes have been spliced into videos as well. You can find that on my YouTube channel. Live, Love, Play on YouTube.
Cool. That's
Now,
Uh,
is it
awesome.
true you're also doing a porn version of these?
Yes, but we're trying to keep that on the hush until we've got something to
Oh,
show
okay. I'm
for it.
sorry.
Can you imagine?
We're still negotiating with some of the stars.
I'm still waiting to get some of the poetry back.
It's expensive creating Klingon porn. I mean, there's
Especially just
all the
audio,
Well, you
right?
break the sets a lot.
I mean, all the breakage. I mean, but Starfinder, the episodes for Starfinder you can find on starfinder.com or USS-starfinder.com.
And that, of course, would be Starfister.
Oh.
Don't give George any ideas.
No, we'll leave that for Sun.
So, yeah, there's everything is online. You can check it out, and I hope you do.
And we have other audio productions that we've done in the meantime as well that work on the new format that we're going for. Witchcast is the latest one, created by George, produced for Live, Love, Play, and that is currently on my website, www.liveloveplay.com.
What is that one about?
It's about a witch who podcasts, trying to make the world a better place by sharing her knowledge and experience with the supernatural with the uninitiated.
Didn't George also do Bat Radio?
Yeah. And Bat Radio's fun. I play Nightwing every now and again.
I did Bat Might, I think, once.
Bat Radio is what if Batman became Howard Stern, and all the profanity and raunchiness is included.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It-
It's not my thing.
It's not my thing either, but I only agreed to do Batmite if in the episode I can have my nephews listen to it, which meant that I had used Batmite's magic to enchant quote unquote Batman, so every time he tries to curse, something else came out of his mouth.
In this case,
awesome.
Anytime he tried to use profanity, he'd say a vegetable. Every time he said a vegetable, he'd say Chinese food.
That's really funny. That's cute.
So
awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and helping us tell our listeners an update on Gates of Tovacor and Starfinder. Again,
if you guys, the listeners, want to see these shows, please let us know. Any and all support, even if it's just emotional and
you still need volunteers?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Hey, if you guys are looking to get into and practice on doing an audio drama, there you go. There's a call for volunteers, and it's a great way to build your skills. I do mean that wholeheartedly, both in voiceover and in technical support. So reach out. You can reach out to us here at hosts@gntshow.com. Or Ross, where can they find you?
www.iliveloveplay.com, Live Love Play on YouTube, twitch.tv/subsailor688. I'm also on Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter. I'm all
Do you
over
have an
the
email?
place. I play at gmail.com, and you can also leave me a message at the website.
Oh, very cool. Just like you can with us. You can just head over to the little right-hand side and send a voicemail.
I don't think I have voicemail activated for the website, but you can send me an email from the website.
Perfect.
We'll have to fix that. But anyways, what's new with Live Love Play?
Since
we have you.
Well, as I spoke about earlier, I wrapped my live stream of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided last night. It was a lot of fun. Had a bunch of new faces in the chat room, and it's always a lot more enjoyable for me and for everybody else when I interact with the audience. So even if you're not into the game I'm playing, come hang out and we'll chat for a while.
And if you happen to be one of my followers on Twitch, I only have a couple of you, but if you happen to be one of my followers on Twitch, my channel actually carries I Live Love Play while it goes live. I actually host his channel on mine. So
Mine too.
when Ross goes live, he's on mine. What was that, Steve?
Mine too.
Yep. So
Well, thank you very both of you very much
you
for
can
hosting.
catch him on my channel too, which is Twitch/Terry Lynn STERILYNN S as in Sam.
Let's see. For the website, next week, my review of Reservoir Dogs Bloody Days will go live on Monday. It's that was a lot of fun. That was the first early access review cycle I've been a part of.
Oh, very cool. How fun.
Yeah, you guys got me in touch with the
Yeah.
with their publicity manager, I guess. Got my hands on the beta and the pre-release build. Got to play it a little early, and that did a release day live stream for it.
How
Nice.
fun.
And now the review is finally done, and it'll be live on Monday.
And what is this Lost in Space thing that you're doing?
Getting Lost in Space is
This is so cool.
It's a retrospective discussion about the classic TV show with Mark Cushman. Everyone, all of you guys know Mark from These Are the Voyages. Well,
Yeah.
he did a 3-volume These Are the Voyages style biography on Irwin Allen's Lost in Space, called Irwin Allen's Lost in Space. So after I interviewed Mark about the book, and at the end of that interview, he pitched the idea that he and I could do an episode by episode retrospective, and that's he of course is the veteran, and I pretty much had no knowledge of
That's
this
so
TV
cool.
show except for an occasional glimpse during the Sci-Fi Channel's reruns.
So you guys are doing essentially you're doing an episode by episode podcast of Lost in Space.
That's right. It's going to be released monthly. The first episode was released last month, and the second episode, both about the unaired pilot, No Place to Hide, is being released on my Patreon, patreon.com/liveloveplay. It'll be there early access for 2 weeks. So if you want to see it first, check it out there. It'll be
That's
live
awesome.
to the public after that on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Very
Nice.
cool. Well, congratulations. I think that's going to be a great thing to listen to, because I love listening to you and I love listening to Mark. And Mark is a brainiac when it comes to television shows, especially in the 70s and stuff. So
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
the
You're gonna
next
have
time
fun.
he comes on Gettysburg Address, we're going to talk about Saturday morning cartoons and Saturday morning television through the years.
Nice.
Nice.
Very cool.
Rest in
And
peace.
that's all the time we have for the show today. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
really.
Steve.
And last plug, of course, is Gods of
Turn it
Yukon,
off.
which most everyone here is a part of. So turn it off like a light switch.
Oh, very well played.
So Gods of Yukon is a post-apocalyptic RPG in a D&D style RPG set on a forgotten planet in the far undefined future. Terry and Mike are both players in this game. Terry plays a
I am a
splicer
splicer.
mutant who's part cat, and Mike is a 16-year-old technological wonderkind.
I make robots and shit.
Essentially, he's the Wesley Crusher of the group.
If Wesley Crusher and MacGyver somehow had a clone baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very fun.
It's a 2-hour-long game that we record and release every week, and it is up on my Patreon as well. If you want to see it first, check it out there. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun hosting it. They have a lot of fun playing it. And we are currently in the process of converting the game from D20, which is the same engine that D&D runs off of, to a game called Fate, which is
I have to read up on that.
which is a much more cinematic and story-driven engine.
Sounds interesting.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sweet. Well, thank you for joining us and coming in, Ross. We appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. I enjoy hanging out with you guys.
Cool. We got a show to kind of start.
I'll step back and shut up for a little while then.
No, it's okay. Actually, you're welcome to kind of hang with us if you want. Yeah, we'd love
Gladly.
to have you. All right. Essentially, you can hear I was sick this week. Mike, you were getting back to gear this week.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, what'd you do this week?
Wait, what the hell was it that happened? There was something that happened. I don't remember. It's been no, it's been a crazy week.
Yeah, it's been weird. Steve?
Walking.
Oh, that's right. How's it going?
Yeah, good. But not long before the show, I went out with my brother, his boys, and my son, and we did just under 7k. So that was about 9,100 steps. So I've already just shy of hitting the 10,000 for today.
Very cool. Excellent. We put the links for his fundraiser, his walking fundraiser, in our show notes last week. We'll make sure they can still support, correct?
They can, yes.
Awesome.
I don't start doing the proper walking each day until June 1st, and then every single day of June I'm going to be walking
This is
at
the
least
warm-up.
10,000. Yeah, well, the thing is, for me, on a good day, if I'm actually active, I was walking a maximum of 1,500 steps. So, but usually it was less than 1,000. At the weekends, when I was doing podcasting, it could be 100 to 300 steps. So I'm going from doing, say, 1,000 a day to 10,000 a day.
Good for you.
Every single day. So it's a huge increase.
Yeah.
And especially
no
with my
doubt.
allergies, going out doing walking, it's playing absolute havoc.
Do you
But
have good
it's-
shoes?
Yes, I bought some new ones.
Good.
So, but no, it's for a worthwhile cause. It helps cancer research, so help trying to get rid of curing cancer sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no
Right
kidding.
on.
Well, congrats and good for you.
I put links into into the chat room, and it'll be in show notes about something that we had done this week. Carrie and I.
Yeah.
The Star Trek Adventures with Jim.
That was really fun. We rolled new characters for Star Trek Adventures, which is the new Star Trek RPG Roll20 game. It's actually a little bit different. It rolls on it's double 20 game, and Modifius puts it out. Did you see the new minis that came out with it?
Yes, I did, and they also have new die, and
Yeah.
I want.
I know.
And I rolled my character yesterday.
Yay!
Yay, you'll
Oh,
be
that's right.
joining
You're
us
going to
in
be
the
the new
future.
ops guy. Yay! Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't have to cover
ops
that
slash
position anymore.
security.
Nice.
And he's a Tellarite.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so fun.
Actually, he's a Tellarite counselor. No, he's ops slash.
Tellarite counselor would be fucking awesome. Just tell everybody to get over it. Get over
Didn't
it.
they have one on Titan?
Yeah, they do actually.
I don't see the problem.
I don't. What's your problem?
Hey, puts Deanna in his place on a regular basis. I like that.
You think you have problems? You should hear what crewman Smith has to go through.
Yeah, no such thing as privacy that way. Oh, I'm
Does this
excited.
smell like
That's
root
really
beer to
fun.
you?
That means that so far, for all of the players that we have for the Star Trek RPG, not one of them is human.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Well, my
So-
first choice was already taken by others.
Tactical?
So then I went with,
What, tactical?
No, race.
Oh, Andorian?
Yeah,
No. Yeah?
that was my first choice.
Yeah.
And then it didn't have Horta, because I just thought it would be fun to be a Horta.
I wanted to be a Medusan, but you know.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. It's kind of hard to play a fart in a box.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry.
Tell us, son.
What does Star Trek need?
Oh god, here we
Sunsail
go.
says, you know what Star Trek needs?
More cowbell?
An enema?
And of course, there's a 20-second delay. So
Yeah. She usually doesn't pause. She just lets us know anyway.
it must be a long answer.
Or it's a joke. With Sun, you can never tell.
Yeah, really.
It because, and again, sometimes you have to really watch out because there is no sarcasm font, and Sun is.
No.
If I really want people to know I'm being sarcastic, I try and use a tilde before and after.
Huh.
It's an idea.
An episode of group therapy of counselors.
Oh my God, fanfickers, get at it. We need a group therapy session. Stat.
Of
That's
the
awesome.
counselors getting group therapy.
Well, that was the most popular episode of Bat Radio, was a group counseling of the Justice League hosted by Harley Quinn.
Oh boy.
Oh, what was it? First of all, I want to say hi, Moogie. Did you see that Treklet?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. The musical that she's in?
Yeah, that's awesome.
What?
I can't believe how big Treklet is.
I know, she's beautiful. Treklet, of course, is Starfleet Mom's daughter and talented. Both of her daughters are talented musical theater performers. And they're in a show in Southern California called, oh God, it just went out of my head.
Knowing Christine, that makes absolute sense.
Yeah, it's like a 50s dance tribute type of thing. Shit,
But
I can't
she
remember.
they had first show this week, and there was smiles all around, so that's great because we love Moogie.
We love Moogie, and it looked really beautiful. And the picture with her and Treklet and the alien was awesome.
Yeah.
And
if y'all don't know who we're talking about, well, you need to get to conventions.
Yeah. Or just follow her on Twitter and everything because
it's never boring.
Yeah, I think she still does a lot of work with a lot of different Trek projects. So follow her. You'll know what's going on in Trek. There's no doubt.
Yeah, the court order came down this week. I'm not allowed to work with little deaf girls anymore.
I'm so afraid of what
what that means.
What that means. You scare me sometimes, Nick.
I scare me sometimes.
Mikey.
There was I
ahead.
just wanted to say, Robert Reyes said something in the chat room that I do want to kind of talk about, and it goes to a bigger fandom thing. We were talking in the chat room because, we're ADD in this group, that Dynasty's being rebooted, and I was like, boo, because Dynasty was very much a product of its time, of the 80s.
Yes and no. Yes.
And the
yes
campiness of Joan Collins and what's her Linda Evans and all of that and John Forsythe. First of all, you had these actors with unbelievable resumes playing this nighttime soap opera. That was one of the things that kind of made it really interesting. Because John Forsythe, wasn't he like a big leading man?
Oh yeah.
And Joan Collins, but and Robert Reyes said, "Oh, boo, CW, no." And then he said he's never watched anything on the CW, which just that to me is like a fandom thing. Oh, Discovery, no. But you haven't seen anything. So how can you say that's like me saying, "Oh, that album sucks." Why? I don't know. I've never listened to the band. I just know I wouldn't like them.
Isn't that
CW has a very solid library?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. But that's, akin to, I'm not going to watch Discovery. It sucks. But not a single frame has been seen, when they're making these proclamations. And it's like...
That's a good point, J.L. Galloway. Supernatural's on the CW, and that's what, in its 37th year now?
I think
15th season.
37th. That's right.
Yeah,
Ross,
they're in their teens.
Your significant other is a big Supernatural fan.
That's an understatement, Terry.
I've met her. I know.
I've never seen that show. but they have a very solid lineup, but way more
I mean,
solid than
all the
some of the
DC
other
shows.
networks. Yeah. They're a genre. Their network is anchored by genre.
Yeah.
Yep. And but here's the thing, isn't that kind of cutting it both ways, Nick? And you say you don't want to watch the new Dynasty, or did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I
okay.
just said it did. I didn't. I didn't. I it. Dynasty is kind of like, example to me would be Dukes of Hazzard or Smokey and the Bandit. They were very much products of that. Smokey and the Bandit was a product of the CB era.
So is
And
this a
for the kids
reboot,
that
or
don't
is
know
it
what
just a
CB is,
continuation? Are these the nasty little kids they had being nasty people now? Like
that's a
Dallas,
really
right?
good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I think if it's a modernization, or like they did with Dallas, it'll work. Just because really, what people want, are nighttime soap operas and bad soap operas. And I'm sorry, I will say bad. There is a difference between a a campy, knockdown, drag out soap opera, and I mean campy, like everybody's just power and money and bitchy. That's
Yeah.
right. And that's Dynasty, that's Dallas, that's Empire, that's all of these nighttime soap operas with big, rich, powerful, you know business people doing horrible things to each other.
Getting in fights and winding up
Yeah.
in the pool.
But people buy it, they just soak it up. Viewers just soak it up because
Talk about an
it's
enduring form of entertainment. How
right.
long have soap operas been going? How long
Since the days
has
of radio.
Days of Our Lives been running?
Exactly. And even Nick, you're right. Even radio.
A lot of them switched from radio to television. But what's funny is there's only General Hospital,
Days is still on.
Days, when it used to be from 1 o'clock through 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
All three networks had their soaps.
There were dozens of them at one time, and now maybe there's like one per channel or something.
Because it's much cheaper for stations to run, the Doctors and Dr. Phil and
Yeah.
America's Court and this
reality
court and that court and
reality-ish
Judge Court.
TV.
Well, those have been around for a long time too.
Yeah, but there's I've been stunned looking and seeing there's 40 different People's Court ripoffs on now.
I was sick this week. I was homesick on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I will have to say, oh my God, daytime television sucks balls.
Yeah, it does.
It's like 200 channels of bullshit.
Well, thank God for the networks that run old Dateline NBCs and stuff during the day, because at least then you can watch, an interesting story that's not some doctor trying to sell games.
Yeah, and oh God, it's
well,
awful.
that's all part of the same subject we've been talking about on this show for years and years now.
Yeah, television.
Dick pills.
Well, the television is failing, and they can't come up with anything new because it's all too expensive, and they don't want to take risks.
Yeah.
Well, the networks don't. Yeah.
The networks, yeah.
And
well, I don't know. Would you say that Fox is taking a risk with
Orville?
Orville. I was going to say Oliver. With Orville.
I don't think that's a risk.
It's expensive though, which can be risky.
But here's the thing. Whose money is really on the line there? The producer. Who's producing it?
Is it Seth that's producing it?
I think it is.
I think so.
Well, and anything done by Seth MacFarlane really isn't a risk for Fox either. How many times has Family Guy been canceled and come back now?
That's because people need Brian.
He has Seth MacFarlane has cachet with Fox. That's for sure. And I think the fact that he's doing a Star Trek parody, I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
Jesus
but
Christ, look at their.
I agree with you. I think
lineup.
it's a guaranteed hit for at least 3 seasons. I agree.
I hope so.
I think it's going and
Well, because it's got Adrian Palicki, so right there, that's
Hell, Fox is practically a Seth MacFarlane channel. How many shows does he have running right now?
which means how much
Family
money is he
Guy,
fucking making, right? This guy can
American
afford to
Dad.
take a risk.
yeah. Family Guy, American Dad,
Cleveland show got canceled and it isn't
Yeah.
coming back.
Orville now.
Mm-hmm. Plus his movies.
Yeah.
Was that Geese? Did I just
was
hear
that Geese?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Nice. No,
Cool.
that's cool.
So yeah,
But Fox
I don't really
does
see
the
that as
genre very well because like Gotham is still a big hit. Lucifer is a really good show.
I was surprised to hear, and actually pleased, although it is moving to Fridays. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is moving to Fridays and got renewed for its 5th.
I was a little sad to see Son of Zorn got canceled.
It's funny. I didn't watch the show. You want to know why? Because
Why's that?
those cartoons that it was based on were after my time. It was definitely geared.
Okay.
It was definitely
Oh,
geared for a
the
younger
He-Man
audience
knockoff.
than me.
For the kids that watched in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. See, I
it
was
was
a
a
60s
He-Man
and 70s
knockoff.
girl.
Yeah, we were we were Flintstones, Jetsons. By the way, every time my wife calls me Dum Dum, I say thank you, Gazoo. Yeah, we had to look it up because she was like, "Who?" I was like, "Great Gazoo." No.
Oh my God! Did you see that Phil Plait? Do you know who Phil Plait is? Does everybody know who Phil Plait is?
No.
Phil Plait is an astronomer, and he's also a professor at the University of Colorado at Boulder. He's also a writer. He also writes for Bill Nye. He writes for pretty much a lot. He's a technical advisor, an astronomical technical advisor for pretty much major shows. And follow him. He also is the writer of a very famous blog called The Bad Astronomer, where he kind of he debunks a lot of bullshit science and then corrects the science, and he's really, really cool. He posted a post on Facebook yesterday. His wife bought him a box of Quisp cereal.
Oh my God! A couple of years ago, a guy at work got me a box of that for Christmas.
I flipped out. It was a case. She bought him a case of this. I'm like, where the fuck did she find it?
Yeah, because the guy at work said it comes out around Christmas. It's like a special thing. For those that don't know Quisp, well, there was Quisp, Quake, and Kaboom. We're all from the same. Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk breakfast cereal now. Quisp was Captain Crunch without ripping your mouth open. It was like in little flakes.
So awesome.
And then you had Quake and Kaboom. Oh, so good.
I'm going to find the photo.
I just linked it.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. So you follow him.
Yeah, and it's so tasty. And I really was torn whether or not I should eat the cereal he gave me or just keep it. I ate it. Speaking of cereal squirrel, I got some vanilla Chex this week. Oh my God.
Really?
Yes. It is so amazing. Slice a little banana in there. Oh.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, it's really good. If you like vanilla, it's really good.
Just me then.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted, guys. Sorry.
It's been very hard to pick out food with the pregnant girlfriend.
There's Quisp.
That's Quisp cereal. So, yeah, it just reminded me, but that was definitely like the cereal of my youth, right? Which was, it was yummy.
So, okay. Question. Star Trek characters. Like, what do you think would be Trip's favorite cereal?
Oh.
Anything bacon flavored.
I'm not so sure.
Being from he's more of a because he's so southern. You think he's more of like a, a Waffle House kind of guy?
Hard to say because he is Florida Southern.
That's a good point.
Grits? I don't know.
Yeah, I love grits.
Yum. Oh, I had we have Nick, you haven't been there yet, but we took Mike here when he was there. But the restaurant near our house now called the Freight House. The Freight House has an excellent shrimp and grits.
Sunsail says Tom Paris, Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
I think Janeway, she's like a shredded wheat or, Total or
And not
Product
like
19.
the mini shredded wheat. We're talking like the big bricks.
Yeah.
All right, what about Riker?
Ooh. Riker's a jaunty. I could see Riker being like a Crunchberry guy.
I was thinking peanut butter crunch.
Ugh, that's too sweet. That's too sweet.
Just regular?
Yeah.
Just like crunch
Worf
berries?
Raisin
Crunch
Bran.
berries are sweet, man.
Worf Raisin Bran.
Fibers for the warriors.
Yes. A warrior cereal.
No raisins.
What? Raisins are like prunes.
Exactly.
right.
That's what I was thinking.
Only
Right?
Okay,
smaller.
yeah, I take that back.
Yeah, Milana's is banana pancakes.
So
How-
like a banana oatmeal cereal or something like
Okay,
that.
here's one. Cisco.
Something Cajun.
No. I'd say like a pecan crunch something.
I was thinking Waffle Crisp. I don't know why. I could just see Cisco digging into a bowl of Waffle Crisp.
And I think that Neelix would be like a honeycomb kind of guy.
No, I see Neelix is getting the Lucky Charms, but with just the marshmallows.
Just the marshmallows.
And
they
lots
sell
of
that
extra
now.
sugar.
They sell that, Terry.
I know, I heard.
I was like, are you kidding me? Honey Bunches of Oats? Ooh, that's a good one. Who would that? That seems like Kira.
What about Picard?
I was just trying to think Dax. Oh,
Dax?
Dax, Fruity Pebbles. There you go.
Jadzia or Esri?
See, Esri would be like Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah. No, that would be Deanna.
Oh, that's right, because the chocolate milk could make.
Yeah.
Or like, even Count Chocula.
Yeah. Garrick Cracklin Oat Bran. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm trying to match someone to Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh my god, we're having too much.
Nog.
Not enough insects.
Well, he could sprinkle the powder on it.
Nog. That's interesting. I'm actually trying to think that one through. My mentally going through the grocery store aisle, aren't you?
I know, right? You're walking down,
Like walking
down
through.
the aisle.
See a Cheerios. See, Cheerios would be a good one because he could make it taste like anything. So you could spray anything or sprinkle anything on. So I think he'd be a Cheerios kind of guy.
After that whole root beer discussion, maybe,
We all had cornflakes.
maybe.
Oh my god. Go ahead. I know it's Cisco. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think Cisco would be the new cinnamon frosted flakes.
I have not tried those yet.
I'm just thinking that's totally Cisco. Okay, go ahead.
Mike only had cornflakes?
I
Really?
know.
I'm so
Yep.
sorry. Not even Total?
Nope.
Wheaties?
Just plain Kellogg's.
So
On a
sorry,
on a
man.
good day, it was just plain Kellogg's cornflakes.
I need to get Mike a copy of that musical song called Eat Your Fucking Cornflakes.
When I was young, I was all about C-3POs.
Oh
You
my
know-
goodness.
Oh my god. God, they weren't around for that long. Grape Nuts. Grape Nuts, that's Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this has gone off the
Do God.
rails.
I know, we're just having too much fun. All right, if you have a favorite Star Trek character and you know in your heart what their cereal would be,
Post it to our
email it to
Facebook.
us at host at
Or post it to our
gntshow.com.
Facebook.
We haven't asked what any TOS character would have.
Oh, McCoy. McCoy is a Southern gentleman. I don't see him eating cereal. I see him eating like SOS.
For breakfast.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, with some grits on the side and some bacon.
And then giving himself
and a nice plate of eggs.
and then self-medicating some kind of a cholesterol med.
Yeah, and a big plate of eggs. And the Southern breakfast.
Scrambled yet still runny.
Scotty is haggis. Everything is
Oh,
haggis.
absolutely.
Everything is haggis with Scotty.
Everything is haggis.
Huh?
How about
Haggis and
Kirk?
scotch.
What would Kirk's
Scotch
cereal
and
be?
haggis.
Because Kirk is jaunty and playful, but he's also very serious. So do you think it just depends on the day that Rand would be like, oh, yesterday was very hard. I'm going to give him a bowl of Fruity Pebbles today.
I think Kirk would be cornflakes.
No, that's too bland for Kirk.
But he could add anything to it.
He would be
K with
frosted
the
mini
fruits.
wheats.
I think Special K with the fruits.
What about Kix?
With the kicks.
Oh,
Oh.
we like Kix for what Kix has got. McCoy likes Kix for what Kix is not.
Who would be the who would be the tricks?
It's Spock's secret pleasure.
Perfect.
Who would be Trix?
Yeah.
Rand. Ba-dum-bum, thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you.
Now and Mike is already thinking of titles for this week's episodes. Cereal, whatever. That's too funny. We actually do have some
Star
links.
Trek.
Oh my God.
Cereals. Oh, there you go.
There's
I
an
can
English
imagine
breakfast.
7 of 9 just sitting at a table in the mess hall with this array of cereal all around her from suggestions from everyone on the crew and just sampling each one and making faces.
And I'll take food supplement number 432.
Is that mushrooms?
Yeah, mushrooms, tomatoes, bacon, eggs, beans,
Yes.
sausages.
See, that's
and
off limits for
toast.
me right there because of the mushrooms. I'm
I'd
allergic.
usually have some hash browns as well.
Oh, okay.
And
There you go.
That would be after cereal, and then I'd probably have a yogurt and things afterwards.
This is making me very, very hungry.
Oh, good job, son. Coffee and a croissant. For card.
There you go.
Now, would it be a lightly buttered croissant?
Lightly? Who the fuck butters anything lightly?
She has a point.
It depends. Half a stick as opposed to a full stick.
Okay.
Thank you,
point
Jay.
taken.
Thank you, Jay Galloway. It's nice to hear that because people all the time say to me, "Oh, you're allergic to mushrooms." I never.
No, you're definitely not the only one. Ray's also allergic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is a
And
shame because I love mushrooms, and every time I eat them, I have to stay 10 feet away from her.
Well, and I watch a show like Chopped, and so many of these things are so good, and then you see them put a mushroom in, and I'm like, well, I couldn't eat it now.
Well, take the mushrooms out.
Sometimes you can't.
No, that's true. I don't like mushrooms. They don't I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like them.
That was always
Where's the streaming tab?
That was always
Damn.
my biggest issue when I used Blue Apron, and I'd always cook meals for people, and I never ever asked. I don't know why I didn't, just what their preferences or allergies were, and it ruined the whole experience.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, there's a web series for you of shorts, of like 10-minute shorts, views from the galley. So like as your ship is like in a battle with the Borg or something, what's going on in the galley? Are they still trying to prepare lunch?
Well, Midnight played the chef on Starfinder.
That's too fun.
Yeah, he was a Gordon
Gordon
Ramsay
Ra-
type character, right?
That's
Oh my
correct.
god.
You actually hear him raise his voice. That was the freakiest part
Oh
about
my
the whole
god,
thing.
there's a series. The head of Starfleet Culinary going from ship to ship in space, uh, starbase to starbase, and like inspecting them and make it
That's
like a
awesome.
Gordon
Checking
Ramsay
for
kitchen
standards.
nightmares.
I wrote, somebody asked me to write Beth as an alternate universe like if she did not go into Starfleet, what would Beth be doing? And I wrote her as being the chef to the Federation president. And
So,
actually it worked. It worked really well.
so this Eagle Moss thing, Terry, they put out the Titan.
That is the official prototype. I'm very, very
Oh,
excited. Yes, we are talking about a little Star Trek news today. Sean Torango posted the picture of the model that he received of the prototype of the USS Titan that's being put out by Eagle Moss, thanks to public demand. I am so very excited. Riker's ship, and it's my understanding it's the first quote unquote non-canon ship that they've done. It's strictly a ship that was developed for the novels. And Sean won the contest, the design contest several years ago. And he finally got his girl in a 3D model, and I think she's beautiful. Can't wait to
Luna is
get my hands on
such
her.
a sexy ship.
I'm very
Wait,
excited.
hasn't Eagle Moss done other non-canon ships before?
Not
I
that
thought
I've
they
seen.
did the F.
They did the NX refit.
Yeah, and I thought they did one of
I don't
one
have
of
the NX refit yet, though. She hasn't come out yet, has she?
I saw
I
it
don't
at
think
Vegas.
I don't think she's come out yet, but I think I don't remember. But didn't they also do like the Vesta?
Again, she hasn't come out yet.
I saw the NX refit model in Vegas at several of the
That might
booths.
have
It was
been
the Eagle Moss
that might have been a
model.
prototype of it though, because
Yeah, I don't
been
think it's
released.
been released yet. So I do know the Titan may beat them. I don't know. I think it may, and here's the reason why, is because Sean sold the rights to the, when he won the contest, essentially the CBS owns it outright. Where Mark Rademacher and Doug Drexler, is it Doug who did the NX refit?
Yes.
He did all the designs for Enterprise.
Yeah. They still have kind of a legal hold on their own designs. So they probably have more legal hoops to jump through to get these things done. But I don't know. I just haven't seen them come across. I'm pretty caught up on my ships, so I haven't seen them come out yet.
Well, the US, the people in the US are behind the people in the UK anyway. So, if anyone in the UK knows whether or not any of these non-canon ships have been released yet, let us know.
I've just checked their website. Couldn't see it on there.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I'm just excited beyond words. Again, I love the Titan. I think she's a very sexy ship, and she looks beautiful. And congratulations, Sean. It must be really, really cool to have one of your own designs actually sitting in a 3-dimensional model on your desk. That's freaking awesome. I'm all jealous. I think she's so pretty. I know there's a few people who don't like him, but fuck him. Mikey, do we still have a
Yes.
cat pound meme contest going on?
We sure do.
Explain yourself.
Well, I have a copy of Star Trek Cats, and I had written up a review of it on our website. And I thought, what better way to give it away than to try to get you to make me laugh? So what I'm looking for is I want a punny Star Trek Cat meme. So all you have to do is post it on our Facebook page, and I will see it. And if you can make me laugh, the one that makes me laugh the hardest wins. So yeah, come on, try to make me laugh.
Cool. And what else do we got brewing? Lots of different things. Do we want to touch on what I think everybody else is going to be touching on, and that is, the brouhaha after the Discovery trailer came out? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way.
The one I addressed last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick kind of kicked it off, and everyone else is now starting to run.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is the biggest bit of gossip, or not really news, but gossip going on right now.
I think, to be honest with you, I think
the numbers are fewer than the Acolytes, but they're getting so much attention.
I don't disagree, Nick. I think that it's the same.
Actually, I think it is the Acolytes.
I think it's the same group of trolls. I don't disagree. I think it's the same group of, very vocal, angry, alt-right, the same people who created Gamergate, the same people who, it's the same group of people. And I don't know if I don't really want to give them any more shit. I mean, give them any more time, because
just look
they're
at some
not.
of the
I don't
titles
think
of
they're
some
as
of these
big as people
articles.
make them out to be. What was that, Mike?
Just the titles of some of these articles. I mean, that pretty much says it all.
It's a lot of clickbait. Now, all I will say is that there's a group of people, very loud, very vocal, and very connected to the internet. They're up on Reddit. They're on, pitching hissy fits about the trailer for Star Trek Discovery, and a few of these idiots are just upset because there wasn't any white men featured in it. We all know that the show has white guys in it. It just didn't. I think that it didn't feature the captain of the Discovery because they didn't want to give away story. Namely, because the story that they were starting off with has Michael Burnham, the lead character, still is the first officer for a different ship. So they're not telling us how she gets to the Discovery. So,
well, they haven't told us anything about the main hero ship. And
exactly.
Again,
nothing.
It's not giving away anything, and it's one thing people bitch about trailers these days. Oh, you see everything in the trailers, but yet when they don't do anything in the trailers, it's just like, seriously, shut the fuck up.
I agree. Oh, and it's bad when Steve cusses. But yeah,
you should hear him when he and I are doing something together. He makes Andrew Dice Clay blush.
I'm sorry for that. Did you hear that big thump? That was Casey dropping a Kong on my microphone. Hello. Oh, he's all sad.
I just want to stop
Alan
seeing this
is not
damn
at
story.
home. They were very lonely. They were very upset last night. Because, yes, I know you're hungry. Stop. Nope. Hi. Okay.
What you're hearing right now is what it's like at Terry's house all the time. Pretty soon you'll hear a rock being dropped.
It's true. Here, Casey, come get this. Here. Are you done? Oh, okay, I'll put it away. Oh my God.
Memories.
What?
It just seems like last month. Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry. Apparently he has to pee. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry, I really am, but
no problem.
He just barked at me now, so.
So, yeah.
Wait a minute. So Snowman Frost says, I like Axanar. How can you like something that was never made? And don't care about Asian Captain. Don't make such stereotypical comments. How can you not care about her when you haven't seen it?
It's just a trailer.
Do you not care about her because it's an Asian? Does that make any sense? How can you not care about something we've seen like 45 seconds of?
Son, those are perfect.
And that's like saying before TNG, oh, okay, he clarified. I meant I don't have an issue with her. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't care. Okay, I don't care that she's an Asian female. Okay, and this is one of the problems with text is it came across as and I don't care, like I don't care about her. Okay, but you meant I don't care. See?
Context.
Yes.
Yes.
And punctuation.
Did you guys see the giant candy store in Jordan, Minnesota?
That's crazy.
That
All
place
right, I'm back.
looks
Sorry.
awesome.
So sorry about that. What were you
That's
guys
okay.
yakking about?
While you were gone, Terry, Snowman Frost set himself on fire in protest.
Of what?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, inflection is lost in text. That's true. No, because something he wrote. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you, just monotone, and then it had to be. He clarified it for us because he said, "I like Axanar and don't care about Asian Captain. Don't make such stereotypical comments." So I took that he doesn't care, like he doesn't care for the captain.
Oh, he just doesn't. Oh, okay.
What he was saying is he doesn't care. It's hey, I don't care.
Exactly.
Not I don't care.
And good. That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, but then we were talking about how inflection and you don't get in typing.
And it is a very
And how come
large
nobody's made a
reason why
sarcasm
so
font
many.
yet?
What was it?
How come some genius has not made a sarcasm font yet?
Tilde.
Right?
Use
You-
tilde.
Is that what we're trying? Are we trying to start a new thing here, Ross?
Well-
it's not a new thing. I saw it a long time ago. I just haven't used it too much.
I
But
just use like
just got reminded.
HTML where I say sarcasm on and sarcasm off, but it's confusing if you do not. Inflection is absolutely lost, especially if you're like my husband. If you're like my husband, Alan is so dry.
You know they
and-
sell. Oh, never mind.
he's his wit and his everything about his wit is very dry and very sarcastic, and it always, even when I'm talking to him, I will miss the sarcasm because I'm a literal thinker, right?
Well, look at Dave Chappell.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's why David. That's why I can sit with
that's
Dave for
wicked.
hours crying.
Right. Just some people have that sense of humor and it's hilarious. But when it's written, it can be deadly because you don't hear the inflection, you don't see the sarcasm. It's hard.
Nick and I had a bit of a misunderstanding in that same way this past week.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
trying to give him a little crap back for all the turn it off that he's been doing, and it just completely got lost. He thought I was upset with him.
But
See,
we did.
I can totally
we did,
get that.
We did what adults do, and we
Fucked
chatted
it.
privately, and he was
Nice.
like, "Oh no, dude, here we go." Turn it off.
What I did is I found the turn it off. I found the
That
turn
is
it
the
off
best
piece
right
from
there.
the Book of Mormon and shared it with him.
Oh god.
But like Colin Quinn, great example of sarcasm.
Yeah.
And by the way, look for his Netflix thing. It's an hour-long special about the New York attitude and everything. And what he does is he goes through the history of New York from the Dutch landing there and the Indians all the way up through today, and the different groups that emigrated, when they emigrated, what they brought in. And I was dying. And he also does one about the Constitution that is hilarious. Colin
That's
Quinn,
cool.
man about town.
So Mikey,
Yes.
speaking of Star Trek Discovery and seeing as though a lot of stuff is coming out, what's this about Star Trek Discovery would be added to Star Trek Online one day?
In the forums for Stowe and for timelines, people have already started calling for Discovery to be added to the game sooner rather than later. So both games,
well, that's refreshing to
the
hear.
communities are already looking for and calling for a discovery to be added. So that's kind of cool. Excuse me a second.
Sure. Yeah, that is kind of cool, especially for and, and I believe it will happen. I mean, that's the beauty of adding content to a television show's canon and being able to
Don't
use
use
that
that
in the game.
word.
Canon mean, you know what I mean?
Hey, question.
Yeah.
Why? What is this whole rigmarole debate about what reality or timeline this is set in?
Purists.
Yeah. I mean, there's right there is this anti JJ group, the anti JJ, the anti movies, the anti Paramount standalone films, and that alternate universe. And the fact is, there's is this going to be in their minds, quote unquote, their Star Trek? Does it occur in their timeline? That's where this is coming from. It's a purist fandom type of thing.
People are so wrapped up on appearance that they if it doesn't look like it takes place in TOS, then it doesn't take place in TOS. If it doesn't look like it could take place before, then it doesn't. If it doesn't look like it fits into what Prime used to look like, then it can't be Prime. It has to be JJ or something else.
Well,
They're so
then
wrapped up in
these
this.
people should get the money, get the green light from CBS, produce a Star Trek that looks exactly like TOS, and when it doesn't last, you'll know why.
And take 3 years and produce nothing.
It's come
Star
down
Trek,
to me.
isn't that what Star Trek Continues has done? But because of fan film guidelines, they
Well,
had to cut
that's
their
different
season
though.
short.
That's different. That wasn't on what I'm saying is trying to do a new series with the same look. And
I have a question about that.
go ahead.
It was either last week or the week before, Continues announced that they were now affiliated with CBS All Access. Do you guys know what that means?
Well, it's
We
a funny
are.
thing
We
you
You
are.
just
asked
so
that.
happen to know,
Yes.
Mikey.
Yeah, we
Or-
are an affiliate for CBS All Access. So if you haven't signed up yet, if you look to the right on our website, on the streaming page or on any page, you'll see subscribe to CBS All Access. So when you click that link, what that means is that's an opportunity for you to sign up for the service, but at the same time, you're supporting our show by putting
That's right.
a few dollars in our pocket. So
Yes.
yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, so
And we, as you well know, we've said many times, we don't take a dime of it. It all goes towards upgrades.
it goes
and
back into the
maintenance.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah, into our tech. And
Let me tell you, the amount that we take in donations does not by any stretch of the imagination cover the costs. So the rest of it comes out of our pockets. And but we do it because we love it and we have fun with it. It's our hobby. And we don't charge
collect a salary.
Yeah.
Can I also just say that being an affiliate doesn't mean being endorsed by?
Yes.
Correct. No,
The
it
same
just
way
means
Amazon
it's like
doesn't
our
endorse us.
Amazon thing. If you shop
Exactly.
at Amazon, please use our link. It helps support our show. We don't make a whole bunch of money off of it, but every penny does help. It's that. So thank you to CBS and
All right, Terry.
Yeah.
I think it's time we came clean.
Oh God.
Mike's hookers and blow addiction has cost us how much over the years?
I thought you guys weren't going to tell nobody.
Well,
Really, it's just about fishing and gardening.
what?
I'm sorry. My
When did
brain
Tom
just went.
Sawyer
I'm
get
trying
here?
to think of
And
what
Huck
would Mike
Finn?
do with hookers. Hookers would be like fishing hooks or something, and then gardening would be like the blow.
Hooker, I don't even know her.
I don't even know. But yeah, no, it's oh my God, I'm so tired. This is like
I'm
one
trying
of our
to picture Mike
crappiest
on Blow.
episodes ever, guys.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to picture Mike on Blow, and it just
No. No.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go smoke again. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go smoke again.
Oh no. Um, with lots of stuff going on in gaming news. We will make sure that those links get put in there. Um, I just got my new NVIDIA GeForce driver, which makes everything ready for the new Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is really, really awesome. So if you have
Nice.
virtual reality rig, you will be able to play it off your.
I do.
I do not. Let's see. We already talked about the Modiphius information. Star Trek timelines, their Borg event ended this weekend, which means I think today's the last day, Mike?
Either
Or
today or tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow
because of the
Memorial Day.
holiday. It might be an extended weekend, but then again, timelines is here in the U.S., so yeah, it could very well last another day or so.
Yeah. And I did see a post from our good friend Thomas the Cat at Star Trek Online. He posted on Facebook this week that he just turned over the work at work. He works again at graphics at Star Trek Online, and he turned over a project that he said that he has been the most proud of. Nobody
I'm very
knows
excited
what it
about
is,
that.
but we're very, very excited to hear that if Thomas is extremely proud of his work, we're excited to see it. That's for
Let's
sure.
put that into perspective. Thomas has remodeled the original Enterprise,
Right.
Voyager,
Yep.
and the Enterprise D.
Yep. Tightened everything up. Looks beautiful. So I'm excited to hear what he's working on or got to work on. So, even
And
what
he
just
is
came
more
out?
excited about this
This.
and remodeling the two biggest enterprises.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a completely original design from his imagination. Something
Maybe.
that he himself created from scratch, so to speak.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
It doesn't matter what it is. All I know is that the guy's super talented, and when he's excited about something and proud about something, then it must be pretty damn awesome.
And coming sooner than we think.
Yeah, that's what we heard. That's what he said too, huh?
Yep.
All right, what's going on real quick in book news? By the way, just so everybody knows, there's a reason you can't find the TNG Mirror Universe comic, because it freaking sold out.
That's a good thing.
That is a really good thing. Congrats to J.K. Woodward and everybody who worked on it. I want to know, is there going to be another printing?
You can always get it digitally.
I heard that they've already had two printings of this book.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
So whether or not they do a third, I don't know. But it was the Free Comic Book Day Star Trek book that there is what it was. So this would be. So they did that printing, and apparently they did a regular run for Free Comic Book Day, and so hopefully there'll be one more. But this is the launch of a new series, so this isn't going to be the only book that we'll see in the Mirror Universe. But this does establish that, not universe, but that for that series, or that run, or whatever you want to call it.
Cool. That's awesome. I really want to get it. I did receive an update after we talked a little bit about Star Trek David Mack's book, the Section 31 book that I was reading, and I said I was having a hard time getting through it. Somebody told me that the book that comes after this is something that I really need to read because it'll answer a lot of the questions I had last week. So I will continue to do so. When I get a little hope like that, I'm like, okay, I can do this.
I think the next one is Control, if I remember correctly, and yeah, that's a good one. I'm hoping to pick up the latest one next week. I've been reading DS9's A Stitch in Time, as well as my advanced copy of Hidden Universe Travel Guides Star Trek Klingon Empire. I'm reviewing it, and I just have to say this thing is awesome.
So much fun.
Oh my god, I'm loving this book, and not just because of Ceridium's Klingza parlor either, but
What's the name of the next book, Mike?
in the Section 31 series.
Yeah.
Control, I
Oh
think.
man.
The
Well,
the one
the
that's
one
coming
from
up.
that Terry, it's the one. Control is the one previous to the one that's coming, that's
Oh,
already
okay.
out.
Sorry, it was part of a joke I was doing in the chat room, and I put up Janet
Oh.
Jackson's Control.
Oh, that's not the latest one. The Control is the previous one,
I'm one book behind in the Section 31
Oh, okay.
series.
or two
So-
books behind.
What? Oh, I will be 2 books.
Now you're
behind.
3 books behind. Holy shit, you just became
Oh
5.
wow, I don't know.
By the end of the show, you'll be 62 books behind.
I'm very, very far behind.
But yeah,
I am too, because I've been reading the Rick Atkinson's Liberation trilogy lately. The 3 really thick books he did on World War II.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been reading the Destroyerman series.
I don't know what that is.
A frigate at the beginning of World War II is transported into an alternate Earth where humans never evolved, but instead there are 2 competing races. One that live on floating homes, massive wooden floating cities that they look like marmosets, sort of, or no, more like meerkats. And the other is a reptilian species called the Gick, something like that. Grick.
Mike, what were you going to say?
about what?
I don't know. You sounded like you were about to say something, and I want to make sure you didn't get cut off.
Well, I can talk about the Klingon, Dayton's Klingon Empire travel guide some more. There will be a contest for it at some point. So yeah, but I'm loving
Sweet.
this book. And the hand drawn maps are pretty sweet. You know, yeah. Everything in this book is awesome.
I'm excited about getting my copy.
It comes
I
out
am.
like the end of June, I believe. So, you may have a chance to get yours early. But yeah, so I'm still working out the details on what I want to do for that contest, but I'm still also reading it. So it should be interesting. But Star Trek Cats is available now, so give me your cat memes
On Facebook.
on Facebook.
Now just ball him up and throw him in his face.
Wow.
Well, I did want to at least touch on the fact that it's been a while, but we're getting close. We're less than 3 months away, actually 2.5 months away from Star Trek Las Vegas. I will be attending. Whether or not I get tickets, I don't know. It depends on how it works.
Well, a lot of people not going this year.
Yeah.
Well, no kidding. Just look at how they're running things. You thought things were bad last year. Look at what they're doing now.
It's so frustrating.
92 people only for autographs. I forget for who, but that's where they drew the line.
Like
They're also
Televixen's
doing.
not going this year.
They're also doing. I had gotten an email. They're also doing super VIPs, where you get backstage passes.
See,
and
now they're
it's
going
like
into
10 people get, exclusive access to certain stars for like
All right,
30
so
minutes.
so
and
here's
it's
the
like,
thing, and I have to play. I'm going to, as much as it kind of drives me nuts, being the fan that I am. I have to ask. I have to kind of play a devil's advocate type person right now. It's a business, and while the celebrities are so, and I did see John J.G. Hertzler's post, kind of dissing other celebrities for upping their prices or trying to get as much money as they can for their autographs and everything like that. I did see
guy
it.
that supports Alec Peters.
And yet when you're an actor, work is hard to come by. I don't care what anybody says. But my question to you guys is, as an actor or as a celebrity, do you not have the right to make as much money for your if it's in demand?
I
No,
don't have a
you
problem with the
absolutely
actors. The
you
actors aren't the issue. It's what creation is doing.
yeah.
Well, there's
Look
the
at
problem is that the creation has to work with with the agents and like the TNG group, right? I can tell you right now, the TNG group probably banded together as they are wont to do and said, "You know what? We'll do this, but we're going to have to take a cut of the
I don't know
house."
because Gates McFadden, when somebody talked to her about it on Twitter, she didn't know anything about that.
Well, then see, this is something that I'd like to have clarified because oh, and maybe it doesn't need to be clarified. Doesn't creation have the right to make as much money
Well,
as they want?
here's my problem. When you think back to like when I first went, what was it, 2010 or 2011? It felt like a celebration of Trek and the fans and all of that. Now it feels to me like nothing more than a money making operation. The tone of it changed pretty much starting last year.
Oh, I don't think I think it started far, far, far
It
before that.
feels way
Maybe it's
different
just
to me.
because I have a different experience with them.
Yeah, but it's to me 2011, 2012, 2013. Those feels were way more celebratory. Um, and fan friendly. Now you're getting into with this 10 people and all of that. Now you're feeding the shit bags that yelled at the press people for taking photos from the press area and who are some of the worst people I've ever seen who think they're
But
above everyone else.
and agreed. I mean, there is definitely that elitist attitude, but when you're plunking down 5 grand, right? By the end of everything, two people going at plus your hotel, plus your travel, plus um, all of the other things that you have to go through to get through. I
Still doesn't make them better than anybody.
No, I
And
agree with you
especially
there.
not better than somebody like my doppelganger when he's trying to take pictures for, you know, for the publicity and stuff to make the word about this even bigger. And they're telling him, they're like the argument I got in with the guy. He had no clue what the press rules were or any of that. And finally, I just told him, I said, "Get over yourself.
Yeah,
You're not special," and he didn't know
right.
what to do with that.
Yeah. And I agree with you wholeheartedly on that end. I really do. Part of the reason why, again, for those who may not know, the G&T show will not have a formal presence in the vendor's room this year. Namely because, well, one, creation never returned my phone calls. And so I
They were too
could,
busy to take our money.
make a reservation to get, so fuck them. At $1,500 a pop, and we usually, at least every other year, we do a 2 booth wide presentation. That's for $3,000. $3,000 just to be in the vendor's room. And again, that's my money. That's my fucking money. That's a lot of fucking money.
Not
And
even the money that we pull in from the 24 hours and
oh
all.
God, no,
That's
because
out
all
of
that
pocket.
goes straight to our server costs.
Yeah.
So
We don't use donor money to travel from convention to convention.
no, so our airfares are our own, our gas is our own, our
Yes, hotels.
our posters are our own.
I
Everything
mean,
that we
look at the
spend.
guy I had to room with last year. I mean, really.
Sushi's your own as well.
I took a damn train to get there last year.
That's right. I forgot about that, Ross.
I know. So it's so expensive. And when I and by the way, that's to advertise for a show that quite frankly makes no money, right? We are absolutely thrilled when people donate to help with our server costs, but it's a money losing endeavor. Why do we do it? Because we love it. We have a great time. We get to talk to our friends, and we have
Talk about track.
amazing listeners. We have amazing listeners.
And on
So
top of that, we kind of fell into a little community. We were always
yeah,
around the same people in the vendors area, and we got to know them, and it became a yearly thing where we would see them as well,
right.
and talking Trek. And last year, oh my God, the look on people's faces with the giveaways that we had and stuff, and
Yeah, it
and
was
people
great.
learning about our show.
It's fantastic when we can go, and but here's the
Bo
thing.
Trimble.
I have a baseline of what I expect for customer service. And my baseline is customer service.
Yeah, if
Actually
you go in a
having
restaurant
some.
and the waiter never comes up to the table, you're gonna
Thank you.
leave.
You're gonna leave. And that's exactly what's happening. Creation has always been absolutely horrific to its corporate vendors or corporate sponsors or anybody who wanted to participate and give them money. It always surprised me the idea that I had to fight to give them money. Every single step of the way for the past 7 years, I've had to fight to give them money. Well, this year I'm just not going to do it. The only thing I want are 3 one-day passes if they're ever gonna do single day, and they may not. So what am I gonna do? I'm staying at a different hotel, and I'm coming in to meet everybody in the casino after everything's done. But we'll be there. We'll be there because we wanna see the family, we wanna hook up with the friends, and, we just wanna make our presence known with our listeners, and to me, that's what's the most important. But at the same time
And yeah, and this year I'll be going to Salt Lake City Comic
yeah.
Con to I'll see Eric Allen Hall and Anna Yoder and all those people that I normally would see, but take in a new con, a new experience, and expose my sister-in-law to her first con ever, and she's 25, and this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Last year, I
Jail
was also
Galloway,
able
that's
to
awesome. I
attend.
would need to do that. Sorry, Ross, what?
Last year, I was also able to attend TwitchCon in San Diego. That
I
was
wanna
a
do that in a big way.
that was such a wonderful experience. I don't know what organization they used to put on the show, but not only was it a big presentation for a bunch of developers, publishers, and there was an entire wall of charity organizations there, not to mention their creative corner. It felt like such a celebration of community that as much fun as I had at STLV for the 50th anniversary, I didn't have that feeling in Vegas.
Well, I'm gonna balance this out and say some positive. From when the first time I went, I think it was 2010. I don't think 2011 was my first. But the way that they've also changed it in a positive is going down the what they call it, what the promenade with all the displays and the things for the photos and everything. They've grown that and made it a much more interactive if you're not sitting in a listening to somebody talk or you're not in the vendor's room. And that's awesome. But at the same time they were doing that and improving that, it became, what the word I keep thinking of is much more sterile.
Yeah.
Remember when you can go when you can just like cruise down the promenade without even having a general admission ticket?
Hmm.
Now you can't even get into some panels with a
Actually,
general admission.
yeah, but you know what? There was no promenade when that happened either, Mike.
Right, it was
That's
just a blank
true.
hallway.
Yeah, there
That's
was just
true.
a
Yeah,
big
I
hallway.
don't have a problem with it, Mike, because that's,
I
if you
think
don't have a
that's part
ticket
of
and
the
you're getting your
experience.
picture taken in the Borg chamber, that's not right. Now, after hours, because I don't want to mention any names, but we know people that would go into 10 forward and be there, once the panels closed. That's fine. Once the panels have closed and everything, that's fine.
Hold on, I'm buying my tickets now.
But I would say the word that comes to mind is much more sterile. And I don't know what it, and I don't know, just things like not the hotel staff. They've always been very nice to me. I've never had a complaint about the customer service at the hotel. But
Unless your room's on fire.
well, that's again, that's what you get for freebasing. but just the attitude of some of the people working the con, trying to ask them a question and just dismissive.
I think there's a pretty good reason that Reed Pop is starting to pick up some of the
Yeah.
conventions from
I'll tell you,
from
the
creation.
service I got from Reed Pop during Mission New York, and we didn't even get to do a booth. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just a timing thing. I would have done a booth. Here's the thing. If I had had the opportunity to know that they were going to do Mission New York before, it was a pretty late notice that they were going to do it. But when they did Mission New York, I would have easily truncated our presence at Star Trek Las Vegas and bought a booth in New York. And if given the opportunity to do vendors with Reed Pop again, I would do it in a heartbeat because they truly understood customer service. All I had to do was pick up the phone. I actually had a sales representative specifically assigned to the G&T show. We talked once a week.
Wow.
Stop it.
Once a week. We talked once a week, and he was like, okay, you're coming in. You got everything you need. You know how to pick up your press passes. You know where to go. And he was like, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I'm putting it out there. The experience was 180 degrees from what I got and what we typically get with creation with regards to how it treats its vendors.
And that, like last year, we could have not existed, and this is not a dig on that company, but I'll bet you MAC Cosmetics didn't have that problem.
Oh, yeah, no. And God knows what each ticket will be charged a $7.75 service fee. For what?
Well, imagine how much they charged Mac.
That's 6 tickets, by the way.
So basically a $10 surcharge?
For each, so it's going to be $46.50 additional for these 6 tickets that I'm buying.
What's causing that? It makes it so much harder for them to hand you your thing.
It's not even hand. This is all
Electronic, automatically generated.
Well, that's like
Nickel
the whole
and
Ticketmaster
dime.
scam.
Yeah. Wow. It's crazy. All right. So still, yeah, $46.50 for
Jesus.
just for what? Just for an electronic to hit the moment, just so I can hit. It's service charge. You're not servicing me. Trust me.
Hello. Why, hey.
Oh, one
That's
other
what
thing
she
they did
said.
at TwitchCon that I haven't seen anywhere else. After you pick up your ticket or your badge, they give you a little loot bag. Inside was deodorant, breath mints, and hand sanitizer.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that says more about the people going to TwitchCon.
I'll give you that.
No, that's actually a brilliant idea, and it's a must-have for any convention.
Yeah.
Not just TwitchCon.
I always like the fact that our booth became first Garrett's charging station for his phone.
Yeah.
And people, hey, can I leave my bags here? Hey, can I leave my baby stroller here?
It's really that
Hey,
bad.
can I leave my wife here?
True story.
There were back just comparing things again at TwitchCon. There were whole booths set up as charging stations, as places where you could sit down and relax for a few minutes when you get tired of walking around.
I'll be right back.
There were coffee shops set up as booths for some of these publishers and developers. They get it.
Hold on, I don't understand. Snowman Frost says, then how can you justify CBS All Access subscription? The same way you justify Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or any of those. You're paying for a streaming service. And by the way, Discovery has already made money. It's already paid for because of the subscription. Unlike most television shows that take forever to make their money back. So again, I don't understand if people don't complain about Netflix. Oh, why would you subscribe to Netflix? Marvel should just put Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all of those out for free. No. Why is there this entitlement that Star Trek should be on a broadcast network? That's not how it works anymore.
Okay, so using that, it kind of goes back to the question I had. And that as much as it bugs me that creation doesn't provide service to its vendors, ups
Wait a minute,
the
but
cost.
did you hear what I was just saying, Terry?
No, what?
Snowman Frost, being who he is, says, how can you justify CBS All Access subscription uh, when you're bitching about a few bucks? Because what is that surcharge providing? You subscribe to CBS All Access, you're getting not only the new Star Trek series, but hundreds of different shows and
Plus
thousands
films.
of movies.
Right.
And
It's
Discovery is already paid for.
yeah, Discovery is pretty much already paid for.
The
They don't
surcharge is just like the Ticketmaster. You know, there's a reason that the courts and the attorneys general have been going after these
Here,
surcharges.
you know what? A long time ago, when you used to order tickets to something, you used to actually get physical tickets, right? So there was a service charge that was assessed that covered the postage and some of the labor costs in actually having to print out and have to manually put these things into envelopes and then send them out via US mail or however you wanted them. Those what service charges were for, and they were usually about and I kid you not, about $1 a ticket.
Hold on.
Yeah, but
And
someone was involved in handling those
exactly.
tickets,
Right.
stuffing them in an envelope,
And now these
and
companies are
dropping them
saving
off at the post
gargantuan
office.
amounts of money by going purely electronic and then upping the fees for this
Yes.
quote unquote handling. It's
The
ridiculous.
ticket now the tickets are automatically generated. There's not a person involved in that process.
And there's
There-
not even a printing. The only
there's
print
no
comes out on the
printing.
consumer side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
the
because
service
the badges
charge is
don't
just
count,
pure
do they?
profit in their pocket.
I don't
does-
know. I mean, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's the cost of doing business. When you're charging $330, I would think that your printing costs on a plastic badge and a wristband, which I can tell you right now, wristbands cost about at a gross amount like they're making at thousands that they're printing at probably a few cents a piece. And
Oh,
the
it's like
and the
it's like a place
badges and
charging
the
$1
yeah.
for a
So I
soda
would
when the
say
fountain only costs 10 cents a drink.
it probably costs $10 a person for the
Yeah.
printing charges for that. But that's part of doing business. That's part of that's why you're charging $330. Your profit on that alone, just the printing. Then now mind you, these things aren't cheap to put on, and it's very important that we put it out there. It's not like creation is not spending tons of money. Number one, a hotel doesn't like it when conventions come in and they don't serve food. Hotels only make money on their catering. So when they put out a convention like this, the amount of money that they're making on that room is very, very little. They make more money when they bring in a huge banquet event. This isn't a banquet by any stretch of the imagination. These are just rooms being rented out. So the hotel is going to charge a convenience fee. What they're going to do, the hotel's going to try to make up its money by charging a shitload of money for renting on these rooms, right? So these are big halls that they're not getting their usual customary fees on. So I can tell you they're spending thousands of dollars to get these rooms out. Then they have to pay for security. which they are required to do. The audio visual that they have to buy from now, Creation has to use the hotel's audiovisual team as well. They can't use their own, so they've got to bring in this company that's contracted with the Rio to do all of the AV. So it's all of the mics, all of the television cameras, all of the video, all of the lighting and the structure. And these are all union employees. Let me tell you, that's another. It probably cost a serious $500,000, maybe even $1 million to put up all of the electronics in each of these rooms.
Huh.
So the amount of money that it costs to put these things on isn't cheap either.
No, you know what though? Snowman Frost, you argue just to argue. He says we're no better than all these people talking, I won't pay another $1 for CBS All Access. You're just arbitrarily picking things to bitch about and refuse other people to do the same.
What?
No.
Specifically, what's he talking about? That service charge?
And if the show is already pay, why is it on CBS All Access? No, the show's already paid for because of the subscriptions.
Right. I've been paying for CBS All Access. All of the people who already pay, it works just like HBO, as much as you wouldn't think that it is, but it works exactly like HBO and Showtime. And HBO and Showtime are subscription services.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say, okay, for the idiots out there who are too fucking stupid to look something up, because the name CBS All Access, that means CBS Studios. So shows that are on there include like Beverly Hills 90210, which was on Fox, Caroline in the City, which was on NBC, Family Ties, which was on NBC, Cheers, which was on NBC, Frasier, which was on NBC.
The Late Show.
Yeah, Melrose Place, MacGyver, which was ABC.
JAG, NCIS. Mission
Star Trek.
Impossible.
Yeah, all these shows. It's the studio, not the network. Just like there's things on NBC that are from other studios, from Paramount or whatever.
Not to mention every single Star Trek ever made.
Yeah, so if you're thinking CBS means, well, I don't watch that network, well, then and besides, is this situation is not this situation similar to Axanar? Frost says no, because Discovery's been made.
Well, what? How? Well, first and foremost,
Axanar
what?
was, and you know what? Discovery is licensed and done by CBS, not by
CBS.
somebody trying to line his own pockets, scamming people.
Well, $1.4 million should have paid.
Continue to defend
for
something
a
that never was made.
Fan film. I'm just telling you, should have and didn't.
Continue to defend something that was never made. You know what? Why don't you send me money for the book I want to write?
There he goes.
It'll be the greatest book ever. I promise I'll get it done.
In the time it's taken Axanar to not produce anything since it started its crowdfunding.
Okay,
there
guess
are
what?
2 people in this very chat room who have produced how many hours of entertainment, Mike?
Just in terms of fan productions?
In between Gates of Stovacor, Starfinder, and everything else, with a shoestring budget. How many hours?
In the same time, Vic put out how many episodes of Continues?
And has
4.
3 more that were already finished, and they're all going out. Yay!
Axanar has produced nothing except a few teasers here and there.
And Alec can try and spin it any way he wants. Now he's saying he never took a salary. As a matter of fact, he's also posted that things people posted directly from his own court documents, he's saying are false, which means he's now saying he lied in his court documents. So continue to defend that scumbag all you want.
But here's the other thing. He puts in there, Snowman Frost says, CBS uses Star Trek to lever their subscription service.
You're damn
yes.
right. That's smart.
Duh.
Just like the Paramount Network, UPN used Voyager as its flagship. Why? Because the brand sells.
It's their brand. It's their property.
Thank you. Exactly. CBS owns Star Trek. Get over it. That's what happened.
How about Starbucks puts out a coffee but doesn't sell it in Starbucks to give it to everybody else? No, they wouldn't do that.
Oh my God, the red cup.
But it's so stupid. But I also need. But here's the thing: it's also important for people to understand what we mean by Star Trek. Discovery is already paid for, and I'm going back and we're going to re-explain it. Subscription services work differently financially than network does. Network
Mhm.
works on ad revenue only. So networks have and for decades, almost 100 years, networks, even radio. This precedes
Yeah,
television.
yeah.
They make their money off ad revenue, which means that shows that survive are the shows that bring in the most money for the ads that they sell. So that's why the Super Bowl is able to command so much money, is because their draw is huge. The viewership is enormous. So the people who sell ads know that they're getting the most bang for their buck, because they're going to say, everybody watches the Super Bowl. Everybody's going to see my ad.
Yeah.
It's worth it for us to get our ad in front of this many people.
And this
It's
is still
that
true
simple.
even with modern media. YouTube creators
Yeah.
thrive on ad revenue, and that's what's made it so difficult for a lot of creators recently.
Well,
Right.
and this is why,
But
let's say that our show was a network show, and Mike, as he's wont to do, says something, that could piss off a special interest group, because, Mike's very like that. And they decide, the 10 people in some special interest group, to do a letter writing campaign to uh, advertisers saying boycott this show. Next thing you know, that show's off the air. Why? Because that's how that show makes its money. Or the only people they
right.
can get ads from are like, and I'm not dissing the product, but things like Proactive or Simon and Schuster lawyers, whoever. You know what I'm talking about, Terry?
And that's
Get the
exactly the problem
helpline
YouTube
now.
is having
Where
right now.
BMW and Coke and these other large companies are not advertising with anymore.
That's
Right.
exactly the problems YouTube's having right now. So many ads have been running on a bunch of non-ad friendly videos that advertisers are pulling out of the platform altogether.
And so guess what CBS All Access doesn't have to rely on, guys?
It does not have to rely on advertisements.
Just like
Correct.
Netflix. Netflix.
Exactly.
Why do
Every
you
only
think?
thing-
streaming service, every subscription service, even those that come through subscriptions paid through by your cable bill, HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, anything that's considered to be a premium channel, there's a reason why we're getting Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, the
Daredevil.
Marvel,
Yeah.
anything on Netflix. That money
Amazon
goes
Prime, Man in the High Castle,
exactly.
and all those.
Exactly.
Handmaid's Tale on Hulu.
So what happens? You're paying for a subscription for these streaming services. That's money that comes in without having to sell an ad. Not one ad has to come in. It's coming directly from the people who want that direct content. So that money goes directly to the funding of production. That money actually produces shows before a single ad revenue or ad revenue is even made. $1 is never even. So what's ad revenue now to Star Trek Discovery? What's ad revenue to Netflix and CBS All Access? And the ad revenue is fucking gravy, guys. Ad revenue is great. It's, as a stockholder or even as a television producer, to be able to look an ad person or a corporate company going, I want to place my ad on your, is great. How much, now we can charge what we feel we can charge, and all of that money that's pure profit.
And then
Right off the bat, that's pure profit.
what this latest up to the brink for that was almost a writer's strike was about, is this the monetary stream has changed so much, as well as the scheduling for it, because look,
Right.
it made
But here's the
took
other
2
thing
years
too.
to
What
make.
does that allow for? It allows for amazing creativity and
Mhm.
strength of writing that we didn't get before. Because beforehand, now your fucking Coca-Colas and everybody else were directing what they felt content would support their product, right? Now it's us. We're the fucking consumer. We get to go, you know what? We will pay for this. This is what we want.
And
We're
it's
telling
not
you
just
what we
one
want to see.
show.
And so Snowman
Can-
Frost, that's exactly right. You're saying, but that's not the point. You can pay for a subscription, but it has to be a value. Duh! That's what we're talking about.
I
If you
think
don't like it,
Snowman
don't
Frost
buy it.
thinks, or at least for the sake of the argument, he thinks that the only show on CBS All Access is Star Trek Discovery.
Which is bullshit because there's already a spinoff of The Good Wife, which is actually one of the #1 rated shows on fucking television, even though it's a streaming service.
Can I just point
Absolutely.
out that 5 minutes ago, he had said in the chat room, he's going to get it on Netflix because that's how.
No, that was
his-
Johnny Snowball. Johnny Snowball said that.
Oh, Johnny
Different. That was different from
Oh.
Snowman
Yeah.
Frost.
Oh, but here
Too
he
many
says, but they
snows.
have nothing I like besides Star Trek. It's not a matter of choosing; it's a matter of reality.
There you
Well,
go.
then you know what?
If you choose not to pay, then yay, you're using your consumer power,
Wait a minute,
aren't you?
and then he says, which most Star Trek Trek fans don't care. Don't speak for everybody else because I just read a shitload of shows on there that are still popular to this day. There's people in their 20s just discovering Cheers and classic TV shows and things like that. So stop. If you're going to be a dick, at least be an intellectually honest dick.
Okay, I just had this mental image of a penis with a what do they call the hats? The little graduate with the tassels on them and shit.
Oh, the cap and gown hat.
With a little cap and gown, a little robe, you know. With a little...
Okay, but Snowman Frost just admitted he lives in Europe, so Netflix is going to be the medium that he. So arguing CBS All Access with him is a moot issue.
All of
No,
I
we're
Love
not
Lucy
talking in the name of
is
Star
on
Trek
CBS
fans.
All Access. That
We are
should be
not
reason
talking
enough.
in the name of Star Trek fans calling others a minority. What we're talking about are people like the Axelites who say they speak for all fans on what real Trek is and all of this bullshit. Well, you know what? Maybe to me, real Trek is Deep Space Nine and the rest of it is just fluff. What would you say to that? Oh, well, you're such a minority. Well, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and we're not going to get into the whole real fan bullshit here.
No.
But,
Yeah, and he's
time to
he
wrap
says
up.
we're
argue.
comparing David and Goliath. I guess I don't even understand what he means by that. What you're comparing? Are you saying David?
He's stirring the hornet's
CBS?
nest.
I think
Is
he's
what?
talking about fan films, which were never a problem until one douchebag decided he
Oh, yeah.
wanted to make money off of the fans solely and produce nothing.
Yeah, it's very
And
frustrating.
lose another lawsuit.
And but again, what we're dealing with is
Oh,
what
wait a
we've
minute.
been talking
Netflix
about.
and CBS is David and Goliath? I wouldn't say so.
Is you
CBS is a
saying who's
major
CBS
studio.
and Netflix?
CBS is All Access is a major a major studio. So I think you're confused as to what CBS. We are not talking about their network. We're talking about the studio.
We're talking
There's
about the company. The company. If you're losing an idea as to what CBS is and how big CBS is,
It's a radio network, a television network. It's production studios.
It's novels
makes
and everything.
movies.
They're a production. They are an entertainment Goliath that's bigger. Trust me, they're bigger than Viacom.
They're bigger than Netflix,
they
that's for sure.
split off. They were the
Goliath is CBS here.
Yeah, exactly.
Netflix is the David that's caused all the problems.
Exactly.
There were so many people who were upset when Netflix series were nominated. First of all, they were upset when HBO series were nominated for Emmys. Then they were even more upset when
Here's you want to
when
answer that question,
Netflix-
Snowman? CBS doesn't pay Netflix to put its shows on Netflix. It's the other way around.
Yeah,
Netflix
just like
pays CBS to get their content. So,
Netflix pays for all of the content that they don't produce themselves.
Exactly.
They buy a license for everything. That's why stuff comes and goes on a monthly basis on Netflix. That's
It's just
why
like the
they don't have
Contracts.
as large a library as they used to.
and it's just like the networks pay the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball to air their games. They are licensed to air those games. NFL has their own network. They could put everything on the NFL network, but they make
Absolutely.
billions, literally billions. What was it, Terry? Like 20 billion or something? I wish
For what?
Scott was here for the
Oh,
NFL contract. It's
Oh, with regards to what they receive from ABC, NBC, and CBS
yeah, it's billions of dollars.
per.
Yeah.
So I want to say it's 65. I think NBC paid 65 billion for its NFL contract for a 5-year period of time. It might be 5 years.
I think they're always in 5-year periods.
And that's just for NBC. Now, CBS also gets the same thing. So I'm sure they're making so that's $110 billion.
And then, okay, I understand what you're saying there. CBS is maybe a big company, but they have nothing in a streaming service market because they're just starting it up. And with not the Good Wife, but what is it? The Good Fight. The Good Fight, and now Discovery, they're breaking into it. Just like Netflix didn't have their own movies for a long time, and then they started. You can't go from nothing to fucking...
When the contract expires, Snowman Frost, you get no Star Trek shows on Netflix until
the
contract renews. Okay. I'm done. I'm ready to. I'm ready to take a nap.
I think we beat this horse into hamburger.
And I have to feed the dogs. So
I have to flog the bishop.
Was gonna wear a little cap and gown.
He's got the little bishop hat.
the little mortar. The mortar. That's it.
The little staff.
Oh, too funny.
The miter.
Well, as you can tell, we're very big supporters of CBS All Access. Why? Because it's just the fucking evolution of television as it's going to be in the future. Streaming services are it, folks. That's all there is to it. Get used to it. We love you, and we will see you.
By the time my kids are my age, there won't be any more networks.
Let me see. Next week, I will be here. I get back. My God, I'm off for another set of travel. So.
Where to this time?
I head to Boston on. I head to Boston.
I
head to Boston on Wednesday, and I back on Saturday. So next week for episode 281 and our first episode in June, we will be back. And until then, live long and prosper.
Mike.
Gobla.
Live, love, play every day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, Mike, for making me laugh. Jolan True non-believers, G&T 280.
Music for the GNT show is provided by 5-Year Mission, Enterprise Blues Band, Warp 11, Andrew Allen, and Greth Thor. The GNT show is a BLB production.
Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a skirt on my yo man. Represent the human race. And we make space a happy place. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. Gonna travel to new worlds. Beam on down and meet some green girls. Gonna see what we can see. A fancy-free galaxy. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. Turn it off! Bonds or Kobe.